Hi, Libby here with C Chats. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the difference between volume pricing and multi quantity discounts on eBay. And the way you're going to get there, number one, I'm going to tell you this again in a second, is you go to My eBay, which is up on the top bar of your eBay site, wherever you are on the site. Go to Selling, Seller Hub. And then from your Seller Hub, you're going to click on Marketing and do the drop down to Discounts. Okay, so the difference between volume pricing and multi quantity discounts is volume pricing applies to one item ID in your eBay store. So if you have multiples of a certain phone case or a, large red Nike t-shirt, you can apply that to one item, right? So let's say we have 100 of those we're selling. You can say, if you buy two, you get 10% off. If you buy three, you get, 20% off. You buy four, you get 30% off. And you can, tier the discounts in any manner you want. And I'll show you that in a second. I'm also going to create specific tutorials, just quick little tutorials on how to do each. So you can look at the one that applies to your store. Volume pricing is generally when you have a lot of items that have multiple quantities within an item ID. The other thing is your multi-quantity discount, and that looks like if you can apply it across category, across your entire store, however you want, but people can select all different items and still get that volume pricing. So you could say something like, okay, all of my jewelry, if you buy two, you get 20% off. If you buy three, you get 30% off. And you can apply that however you want, but they don't have to be purchasing the same item. And that's pretty much the basic difference between volume pricing and a multi-quantity discount on eBay. So I have volume pricing set up for all my items, and then it just picks up the ones that I have. I just have it applied across my whole store. It'll just pick up the ones that I have large quantities of or multiple quantities of. Okay, so the way you get there, and I'm going to show you my screen in just a second here, is My eBay, Selling, go into your Seller Hub, click on Marketing, and go to your discounts. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen here. You can take a look at that. All right, so this is all the promotions that I have, and that's just my promotions tab. So when you click on that and you see that, you can see all the, different promotions, that sort of thing. I always have a lot of different ones running. I save my old ones so I can see how they have done, and I can copy them if they expire, if they've done well. Okay, so this is volume pricing. So it is pretty much you set up, like I said, you have one, applies to one item ID, and I just have it set up across the board. My one rule selected is all my inventory. And again, this only applies to things that I have multiple quantities of one item ID. So, I'm going to do a separate tutorial showing you how to set this up for your store or how to set this up and apply rules. But that is volume pricing. That's what it looks like. They are both in the same place. All right. So this is what multi-quantity looks like. You can see you have different things. So this specific one, I have a category. I have set up for jewelry and watches. You tell it what you want it to do. And then um, you can have tiered levels. As you can see, there's lots of different options. I will go through that in a separate tutorial. And these I just run for a shorter period of time. So for this particular one, you can see they can pick anything out of my jewelry and watches category. And if they buy three or more items, they get an extra 20% off. And that is pretty much the basics and the difference between the two. But check out the other tutorials based on what you need. And you can set them up for your store and get those items selling, get those items moving. It is great when shoppers buy more than one item. And this is a great way to encourage them to do so. Thank you.